Happy Monday. How was your weekend? I have to say this was probably one of my best weekends since I can't remember, since COVID started, because I literally felt like a normal human being this weekend. I went out with my girlfriends Friday night to a restaurant in Cherry Creek and sat inside. It was amazing, and Cherry Creek is still lit up with lights and it's so magical. And then yesterday I went to another friend's house to watch the Packers lose, unfortunately. Hi Ken, good morning. But again, just felt so good to be out and about and somewhat social, while still being careful, of course. Everyone that was present had been tested and cleared and all that good stuff. But I wonder how your weekend was. Hi Linda, how are you? It is so loud over here because they are doing massive construction right here. I think they're building like, I don't know, giant townhomes or something. It's just crazy. Hi Linda. So I'm gonna do some warm-ups here sitting in my chair, and then we're gonna launch in. I have my short bands handy, so hopefully you do too. And of course your towel and your water. And here's Barney. Okay guys, well listen, let's get started. We're just gonna have a seat here at the edge of the bench. Chair, bench. And we're just gonna, I'm hanging onto the edge of the chair and I'm firmly planting my feet into the floor. Hi Jenny, good morning. Oh, you don't hear so good. Uh-oh, turn up the volume. All right, let me make sure my volume is turned all the way up. Yep, it is, okay. So we're just warming up the hips a little bit and we're just relaxing our abdominals. Hi Joan, hi Pat, hi Deborah. How y'all doing? What's going on? Gonna start off the week right with a little 60 up action. Okay, now we're gonna reverse directions. Oh, I am kind of staying tall. My chest is lifted. My abdominals are relaxed. I'm planting those feet into the floor and I'm just waking up my torso and my hips. Breathing. Hi, Judy. Good morning. Good morning. And now we are going to come back to center. And hi, Daresha. So now we're just gonna hinge forward and back, forward and back. I am keeping a straight spine here, okay? So this is just another great drill. Uh-oh, I gotta take the toy away from Barney. Hold on. You know, Barney, sorry, not today. Oh, you brat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's a game he likes to play. Now he thinks he's gonna play. Oh my goodness. Barney, sorry. Sorry, Barney. Oh my gosh. I always think I take up all of his toys before I start, but I guess I missed one. He's having a fit. Hi, John. Good morning. How you doing today? And we're just gonna do a couple more of these. And now we are gonna come back to center. Hi, Chad, and we're gonna just shake side to side. Shake side to side. Still planting those feet. I am hanging on to my chair. I am relaxing my abdominals. Oh, poor Barney. He's like, he wants to play. Hey, I took down my tree. I finally took down my tree. Got that sorted out. It was sad though. You know what I did though? I didn't even put it in the box. I just took the tree with the garland on it. I already had the lights on it. And I just plopped it in my garage. It's only 6 foot, 6 foot or so. Okay, now we're gonna bring it back to the center. And now from here, I'm gonna push my chair back and I'm just gonna stand up and sit down. Just warming up our quadriceps here. And exhale as you stand up. I'm coming out of frame, so I am going to adjust slightly here. And you can use your hands here. You can use the chair, but really try to use the strength of those thighs, okay? And exhale as you push up. This is such a great warm-up drill. And we're just gonna do 4 more of these. Start getting that heart rate up a little bit. Start heating up our body and our joints. And I think I did 1 more than I said, so stand up. And now we are gonna come back around. I'm gonna set the chair back here. Sorry, Barney, I'm gonna set your toy there. And we are gonna just do some ankle rolls, because you know, it really is important to warm up those ankles sufficiently. And I like this warm-up drill too, because we are still also focusing on opening up our hip. I hope that noise isn't bothering you too much. It's certainly bothering me. It's disruptive for our quiet, quaint, charming neighborhood, but you know, what are you gonna do? Acceptance. Acceptance is the key. It's out of my control. You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna do 4 more. 1, come all the way up on the balls of that foot, on the ball of that foot. And last one here, and then plant it, and we are gonna switch. So just start that rotation. You can go as slow as you need to here. Just try to get that full rotation, really open up your hip. Use your breath, keep that standing leg bent, okay? Never want to lock it out, too stressful on the knee joint. And we're gonna do 4 more of those. And last one here, and plant it. Okay, now we are gonna keep that board center, and we're gonna go up into our calf raise and our toe raise. Lift and lift. Just warming up your calf muscles, since we work them so much when we're on the board. Lift and lift. I'm just wondering how your ankles and how your feet are doing. Have you noticed a difference since you've been working with the 60 app, doing all these amazing classes with Dan and Kathy and me? Lift and lift. Go through that full range of motion. And we're gonna do 4 more. Last 2. And then we're gonna hold it at the top, hold it, and we're just gonna do little presses up, up. Tight little pulses. You can really feel those calf muscles starting to burn, right? Such a dense muscle. 4, 3, 2, now hold it at the top and bring it down. And then I just want you to kick it out a little bit, work it out a little bit. And now we are gonna do a calf raise with our toes pointed together. So again, find that center balance on the board. Bring the toes together and go into your calf raise. So now we're focusing a little bit more on the outer portion of your calf muscles. I do want you to relax those shoulders and don't grip so tight on those poles, but do come all the way up on the balls of those feet. And use your breath here. And we're gonna do 4 more. 1 and down. 2, exhale up. 3, last one, hold it up. Now we're gonna do those tight little pulses, up, up. I feel the burn right away, do you? For 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. And press those heels down. Let's kick it out again. then we're gonna do another set with the heels together, okay? So let's do it. Find that center, bring the heels together. I am all the way flush up to the back of that board. Come all the way up and press. So now we're focusing more on the inner portion of your calf muscles. Come all the way up. Go through that full range of motion. 4 more times. And then we're gonna hold it at the top. Hold, tight little pulses up. 2 more and hold it at the top, owie. Press it down and then kick it out. I really felt those, did you? Just work it out a little bit. For 4, kick it. 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Okay, now we are going to go into just a step up and step down. I am stepping behind the number 1. And as always, the challenge is to keep that board center. And you can go at your own pace here. You know that, right? Just really think about placing that foot and really feeling those pressure points and starting to work those proprioceptors, right? Keep that board center, relax your shoulders. And now we are going to add a knee up to this. And we're going to alternate. Again, every time trying to get that board center. Just getting our heart rate up a little bit here. And then if you'd like to add the opposite arm up, you don't have to, okay? Only if you feel stable and confident. But just place that foot behind the number 1. Working that mind-body connection, that inner focus. Getting those hip flexors involved, our shoulders. Keep going here for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then just hold here and step it out. Then release those hands and let's do those big giant circles back, warming up your back muscles, warming up those shoulders. Big sweeping circles here for 8 and 7, 6, exhale, 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one here. Good, now we are going to go back into that step up, but this time behind the 2 and the 2. So first, plant those heels, get that board center, step up and down, step up and down. Always trying your best to keep that board center. Try not to press all your weight into those poles. Instead, try to think of pressing your weight into your feet. Engage those abdominals, okay? For 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Now just step it, and now we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to lead with the opposite leg, okay? So first plant those feet, step up, down and down. How are you doing? You feeling good? You feeling stable? It's hard when I'm doing these to keep that board center. Man, I'll tell you, at my friend's house for the game yesterday, whew, what a feast they had. Homemade mac and cheese, which, I had to taste in honor and support of my Packers. I am a cheesehead at heart, I grew up in Wisconsin. Barbecue chicken, burgers, homemade stuffing, deviled eggs, guac, of course. It was a lot. Okay, one more. And then step it out. Now we're gonna do that again, but we're gonna add a leg curl. Okay, so first, stabilize as always. Get that board center. We're gonna lead with the right. Step up behind the two, lift behind you. Step up behind the two, lift. Now it's gonna be really tough because of the laws of gravity here to keep that board center when you step up. So don't worry about it. Just warming up your hamstrings here and kicking our butts, right? Use your breath. And we're gonna do 4 more of those. This is 2. And 3. And 4. Now we are gonna hold this last one. So step up, hold up, and put your both hands on this pole. Pitch forward slightly. Keep this standing leg bent and go into those repeaters. Use your breath. I want you to think about squeezing into those hamstrings, just like when you do a biceps curl. But look at how bent my standing leg is. So I am working my balance here. But now, if you really want to test and challenge yourself, pick that focal point, pull your abdominals in, take one hand off, and then the other hand. Now, if you just want to focus here on the standing leg balance, that's great. If you want to add the leg curl, go for it. It's up to you. You're listening to your body. And we're going to do 2 more of those, and then we're going to hold it at the top, release it down, push the heel down, step down, and we are going to switch. So step up, repeaters. Keep that standing leg bent, engage your abs. And if you feel good and stable, take one hand off, and then the other hand only if you feel good. And again, you can just focus on the standing leg balance. You don't have to do the leg curls. I'm concentrating. I'm looking at the clock on my DVR. I'm using my breath. I'm dropping my shoulders. Woo. It's a little trickier with that left leg, isn't it? For 4, 3, 2, last one, hold up. Woof. Okay. That's it for me. Step down and step it out. Release those hands for a second. And let's circle those arms forward. Big sweeping circles. Open the chest. Use that breath. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. Okay, now we are going to go into that V step. So we're going to step behind the 1 and the 1, and then down, and then the 2 and the 2, and down, and then the 3 and the 3. So first push those heels down. So it's 1, down, 2, down, 3, down. 1, down. 2, down. 3. Keep that going at your own pace. You are dropping that board. Relaxing those shoulders down. Using your breath. Just getting that heart rate up a little bit. 2 and 3 and 1, 2. You got that? 3, I kind of got it. 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Last time. 1 and 2 and 3. Now step behind the number 1 and the 1, just side to side here. Just shift those hips. And then when you're ready, find that center balance. Tuck that pelvis under, engage your core, breathe. And then if you're ready, push your hips back and you can go into a partial squat or a full squat and back up. All the while you are trying your best to keep that center balance. So think of slow down and slow up. Squeezing the glutes tightly at the top without throwing your back into it. Keep that chest lifted. Don't hold your breath, okay? Are you able to keep the board center? Are you pushing your feet into the board? And are you pushing those hips back far enough? Remember, you never have to come down as deep as I am. You're listening to your body. If you feel any pain whatsoever in your knees, then please just rock side to side. Do a step touch. Go into a calf raise. There's always something you can be doing, okay? You are building your own strength and endurance and balance and stability at your own pace. How are you doing here? I'm feeling pretty good, pretty strong for 4 and 3, 2. Here we go, one more time. And now we are going to hold it down and breathe. Make sure those knees don't bow together or bow out, okay? Keep them in alignment. If you can, really just breathe into those thighs, into your glutes, and then bring it up slowly. Squeeze your tush. Open your feet up to 3 and 3, rock side to side. How did you do? So I have to tell you, there's this consignment store in my neighborhood. I live by Old South Pearl. And I am never, ever, ever again gonna spend full price on Lululemon or Athleta. Because I got these tights, Lululemon, they're like brand new. They're so soft. They are my favorite already. And instead of paying the $90 or whatever the heck it is, 20 bucks, okay? I mean, it's hit or miss, but you know what? I just pop in there like once every couple of months, and it's pretty amazing. It's called Common Threads here in Denver. Okay, now when you're ready, here we go. We're gonna find that center. Now, of course, this is trickier because we are focusing on those inner thighs a little bit more. But breathing deeply, drop those shoulders, engage that core. Breathe. Now, if you can, if you're feeling really solid here, Point the toes out at a 90-degree angle. And from here, again, you're finding that center, finding that center. I want you to just come into a partial plie and up, squeeze the tush. So it's a vertical drop, and now you are thinking about pushing those heels into the board to get your body weight back up. And then it's just a tight little squeeze up into your glutes. And by the way, you don't have to do the plie. You can simply hold the center balance and focus on that. Now, if that feels good and you want to try to come down further, but again, no pain in your knees. Push those knees back, get them in alignment with your toe line. Really working those inner thighs. I'm feeling it. And I'm really, I'm relaxing my grip on those poles. For 4, press, squeeze. 3, press, squeeze. 2, and last one here. Now we are going to try to hold it down, okay? I'm pushing my knees back even further. I'm really pulling my abs in, and I am going to try my best to take both hands off here. And breathe, drop the shoulders. Woo! Those inner thighs are talking to me. It's a weaker muscle group. Be patient. Press it up, squeeze the tush. Point those toes ahead. Rock side to side, bend those knees. Now look, let's do a step touch. Step touch, work it out a little bit. This is so great to release those hip flexors, release those knees. But you're still moving, still grooving. Use your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now look, we're going to go behind the 1 and the 1. Side to side. Hip action. Bend the knees. You can come forward a little bit if you want. Play around with it. You can go slow or fast. And when you're ready, you know what to do. Let's find that center. Tuck that pelvis under. Breathe. And then if you feel good, push those hips back again. And we are gonna squat, up, lift the leg, down, center, squat, up, drop the board, lift to the side, center. It's gonna practice, it's gonna take some practice. Push back, come up, drop the board, lift, back down, find the center. This is really working those proprioceptors. Push your hips back, back up, drop the board, lift, and find that center. Oops, behind the 1 and 1. I'm having a hard time. I'm really challenging myself. Push your hips back. Come on up, drop the board. Now hold here and just go into those single side lifts. Because look, we just worked the inner thigh, now we are working the outer thigh. But look, my standing leg is bent. I'm always leading with the heel of that foot. And even if you can just go to here, it's okay, we're still working your abductor. You don't want to force anything. This is as high as I can go with my natural range of motion without altering my body position. I'm using my breath, pulling those abdominals in tight. How are you doing? We're gonna do 4 more of these and then we're gonna hold. And now hold it at the top, hold this, stabilize. If you wanna try and test your balance here, let's do it. I'm concentrating. My leg was shaking and baking, but it felt good. Let's rock side to side. Work it out a little bit. It feels good. Got my groovy surf song on now. Can you hear it? I can't help it. That corny, silly part of me just comes out. Woo, okay, you ready? Let's shift it to the other side. Standing leg bent. Here we go. Lift. Lead with that heel. Relax those shoulders. So look at your foot. Is it parallel to the floor? Are your toes coming up? I don't want that. So lead with the heel of that foot. Engage that core. Use your breath. You feel that, right? When we really isolate that abductor. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Are you ready? Let's hold it up. And again, if you want to test that single leg balance, this is challenging. I'm going to do it. The left side's definitely a little more wobbly, but I'm going to challenge myself today. Are you going to challenge yourself? Only if you feel confident. Breathe. Woo! Let's release it. Side to side. Boy, I felt that. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it down, step it down, step it out. Hey, I think it's time for a water break. They're like, yeah, Debbie, we were hoping you were going to say that. I can't help it. I get carried away. And the time goes so fast. You know what I mean? All right, so look, I am going to put the small bands on the outside. So I'm going to feed it through. The loops is going to feed through. Then I'm going to take the handle and put it through the loop. And I'm going to cinch it up until it's tight. I'm going to put it on the handle and bring it to the front. Okay, other side. Take the loop, put it through. It takes a second. Take the handle, feed it through the loop. Cinch it up, takes a second, don't worry, be happy. Cinch it up. And then we are going to move those poles to the inside. So take your push pin. I like to drop the board and put one foot on there to stabilize it even further. Always paying attention, by the way, to your spine being straight and how you get up and come down, right? So it's a vertical drop. And then if you want to put the foot on there to get it out, and use that push pin to lock it in. All right? Then walk it up, stand it up. Okay. another drink of water. Here's to your health. I'm wondering if you guys saw those water bottles they have, that they're sort of big, they're plastic. Did I mention this? And they have different times noted on the bottle. So you're more likely to drink the amount of water you're supposed to. So it's like 7 a.m., you know, they target the time frames. I would check on Amazon. I think they're probably available there, but I think it's a good idea if you struggle with getting those 8 full glasses of water in a day, okay? All right, now we are gonna step sideways. So first we are gonna stabilize, right? We're gonna drop that board. We're gonna step up to that center line and then the other line. Now first, we're gonna rock forward and back, pushing the feet into the board. And then we are gonna go into that calf raise and toe raise. Lift and lift. Come into that full calf raise. We're gonna do 4 more of these. And now we are gonna hold it at the top. Hold the calf raise. Tuck that pelvis under, engage your core. If you feel steady, you can take the hand off. Breathing deeply. Engage that core. You know what else helps? Tighten your glutes. Whew. Okay, that's it for me. Press those heels down, forward and back. How did you do? Getting a little better. Okay, now we're gonna find that center. Tuck that pelvis under. When you feel confident, which I don't yet, take the handle, and what we're gonna do is go into a front raise. Now you are gonna be limited here with your range of motion, so it's a little move here. Exhale up. The hard part is really keeping that board center. How are you doing? It's tough, right? Now good, lock that elbow in, stabilize center, curl it up. Now this is definitely a challenge. So if you just want to focus on your biceps, that's okay. If you really want to try to do the balance and the biceps, that's great. It's more of intermediate, advanced move here. Just anchor that elbow. Look, I'm struggling keeping the board center, but I find the more that I pull my abdominals in, the more I tighten my glutes, and use that breath. Pick that focal point for 4, 3, 2, last one, hold it at the top. Release it slowly, then anchor it back. Okay, that was tough. Forward and back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the board, step it down, come center, step it out. Now let's release those arms again before we switch, okay? Big circles back. Now, if the band is too hard for that front raise, you can always grab your longer band, which I have here, and as a modifier, you can step on the band close to the handle and do your front raise this way, okay? With the longer band. It's up to you, but there's always a modifier. Don't forget about that. Okay, now we are going to go to the side again. Keep stepping. Then plant those heels. step up to that center line, drop the board, step up, forward and back. So you're thinking about pressing your weight into your toes, into your heels, into your toes, into your heels. And now we are going to go into that calf raise, lift, toe raise, lift, toe raise. I am so limited with my range of motion with those toe lifts. How about you? Wow. You know, I have so many limitations actually with the tarsal tunnel, with those neuromas, but they have improved greatly. We're going to do 2 more of those and then we are going to hold it. So are you ready? Let's hold it up. Tuck that pelvis under. Pick that focal point. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to take my hand off. Tightening my glutes. I'm shaking. I'm wobbling. Breathing. Tightening my butt cheeks. Straightening my legs. Breathing deeply. Engaging my core. Release. Okay, how did you do? That was rough. And now we are going to hold it center again. And here's the challenge. We're going to take that band. Remember, there's a modifier. If you need to step off, grab your longer band. Step next to the loop. Secure the band. Here we go. Lift, and you can do the same thing for your biceps off the board with the longer band. This is a very small move. Trying my best to keep that board center. 2 more times. Oh, that's tough. Lock that elbow in. Biceps. Again, we're really trying to keep that board center. I'm pushing my feet into the board. Tightening those glutes. Keep the wrist fixed. Anchor that elbow. Are you able to keep the board center? I'm not doing a very good job. Okay, I'm going to focus. Got to work off that mac and cheese. Woo. 2 more times. And hold it at the top. And release it slowly. Okay, let's anchor it forward and back. I'll tell you, that's one thing as I've gotten older. Lactose intolerant, man. I do have to take digestive enzymes, and I really enjoy the Digest Gold because it just helps, you know. Certain foods I've just grown a complete intolerance for. Now hold that center. I'm not doing a very good job again. Here we go. Drop the board. Step it down. Step it down. Come center. Let's release those hands. Big circles forward. Release it. Relax it. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now look, I am going to grab my longer band. I'm going to take a quick drink. I saw Kathy doing this move, this exercise for the triceps, and I really liked it because with these bands, it's kind of limiting because that's such a weak muscle group and we can be quite limited there, right? So what I like is you can take this longer band. I'm going to come forward and you can kind of wrap it around, right? Your wrist. And then you could take the other side. You can give yourself as much tension resistance as you like. And then I'm gonna give myself a little bit more tension. But you do wanna lock that elbow in and then just do your triceps kickback. So actually I'm gonna grab the handle like this with my palm down, okay? And lock the elbow and just kick it up. So this way you can play around a lot more with, you can let you know, more slack if you're struggling. You got that? Because we really need to work those triceps. You can do the same thing as I showed you with that hand towel. Four, three, two, oh boy, hold it at the top and release. And now we are going to switch right away. And we're gonna wrap it around. Take that handle. Get that elbow close to your body. Okay? Kick it up. Try to get that full extension. You're focusing on the backs of your arm. I'm keeping that chin retracted inward so my neck isn't coming into play. And if it gets hard, loosen up. Loosen up the resistance. How are you doing with that? For four, I'm feeling it. 3, 2, last one, ouch. And release and set those down. And let's do those big arm circles back again. Release, release. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, now we are gonna do that front lunge. So you're gonna step up to that center line, press forward, push back, step up, press forward, step back. Keeping that board center. Relax the shoulders. We're gonna do 4 more of these. This is 3 and 4. And now we are going to go into that single leg balance. So step up, press forward, lift. Find that center, engage that core. And then if you feel good, try to take one arm off. I'm going to bend my standing leg even more while I take off the other. Okay, I'm really having a hard time, but I'm gonna hang in there. Working that mind-body connection, mind over matter. And then step down and down. Whew, that was a challenge, right? We're gonna switch right away, so push those heels down, step up to that center line, press forward. When you feel good, let's lift. Abs in tight. Use that breath. This one's gonna be much more challenging. Again, you do not even have to try to take your arms off. I'm just seeing where I'm at. I'm not able to hold the center balance with the board, but that's okay because I'm still working those stabilizers, and it's important. My left leg is not as strong as the right, sometimes. And then bring it back to the center if you didn't already. Then step it down and step it down. Let's just do some knee lifts. Keep the board center, work it out a little bit, and then take your hands off, push up to the ceiling. Work out those shoulders a little bit. You can go slow or fast here. Raise the roof. For 4, push up. 3, exhale. 2, and 1, and just march it out. Get a quick drink of water. Last exercise with the band. We're going to come to the side again and plant those feet. Step up to that center line, step up to that center line. Forward and back, and we're going to find that center right away. Engage that core. And when you feel stable, take the handle off. Pitch your body forward slightly, push your hips back slightly. And we are going to go into that one arm row. Exhale up. Trying your best to keep that board center. Squeezing into your upper back. Working those pressure points in your feet. Your joint stability is going to improve so much. Not to mention you're going to decrease potential ligament injuries. Exhale at the top. Use your breath always. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Let's hold it at the top. And we're going to do those tight pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it at the top. Now full range. 8, 7. Pull your abs in. Stop if you need to. You know you need to stop if your form is faltering. Use your breath if you feel pain in your joints. And then hold it at the top. Hold it. Release it slowly. Forward and back. How did you do? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it down, bring it center. Felt good. Release those arms. Sweep them in front this time. And remember, you don't have to do this entire class, especially if you're starting out. You know, just do the first portion and then, you know, fast forward if you don't do this class live and do the cool down and the stretching. You can build into doing the full class, but don't feel like you have to do it, okay? That's the main thing. Good, and relax. Let's shake them out a little bit. We're gonna go to the other side. Push those heels down. Step up, drop the board. Step up, forward and back. Always pushing into the Front of your foot, the back of your foot, the balls of the feet, the heels. And then find that center balance right away by tucking that pelvis under. When you're ready and you're feeling stable, again, take that handle off. Push your hips back slightly. Keep those shoulders square. Here we go. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, last one. Let's hold it at the top. Let's do those tight pulses. Focusing on the upper back. And hold it at the top. Now full range. Here we go. 1. Exhale out. We're going to 8. Keep that board center if you can. Last 2 here. Hold it at the top. Hold. Release. Forward and back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that board. Step it down. Step it down. Bring it center. That was great. It was a great workout today. I hope you felt it. Let's just do those hamstring curls. Nice and slow. What are you going to do with the rest of your day? Bring your arms up. Pull. Slow. And just side to side. Keep those knees bent. Let's roll those shoulders up and back. Work it out. Just work out that tension. For 4 and 3, 2, last one here. And then just step it out. Let's go into our low back stretch. So we are going to step back, knees bent, push those hips way back, come to that tabletop position. Hold and breathe for 3 slow healing breaths here. Then slowly bringing it up, stepping forward. Roll those shoulders up and forward. Put on some stretch music. My favorite. Are you doing these drills daily? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's interlock those fingers behind our back. Let's roll our shoulders back. Press the shoulders down. Lift those arms just as high as you can. Hold and breathe. Release slowly. Let's go into those shoulder shrugs. Release, depress them down. Squeeze them all the way up, retract, press them down, squeeze, retract, depress, squeeze, and down. For 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Now let's go into our calf stretch. So step all the way back, push that heel into the floor. You can press forward slightly, drop the elbows, and just hold that. Make sure your feet are pointing straight ahead, and just breathe into those calf muscles. We did a lot of work with their calf muscles today, so take this time and send the breath into that tight calf muscle, hold the breath, and then as you exhale, visualize that muscle just kind of softening and relaxing. And then bring it up, and we're gonna switch right away. Step back, push that heel in, and visualize that healing light coming in with that breath in, traveling into your calf muscles, holding, and as you exhale, just surrender a little deeper into that stretch. So we're not fighting a stretch. Just breathing deeply. And then you're just gonna release that, and you're gonna bring your hands behind your head, push your head into your hands, press those elbows back, tuck that pelvis under, and breathe. And release. Just shake them out a little bit. Stretch out your biceps, lengthen your arms, palms out, and really outstretch, elongate those arms. And then shake them out again. And then let's go into our quadriceps stretch. So you can just bring that knee up. You can hold this, or if you can, grab that ankle, glue the knees together, press those knees forward, drop your shoulders, and breathe. Oh, I like that post on everybody's favorite book and movie selections. It's really great. Thanks for all that contributed their favorites. And then release. And we're going to switch. Standing leg is bent. Knees are on the same exact level. Tuck that pelvis under. Drop the shoulders. Send that healing breath, that healing light in as you inhale. As you exhale, just drop a little deeper into that stretch. And then slowly come out of that. Kick it out a little bit. Now either grab your long band or your towel. Grab it wide. Stretch it up and back. Hold. And breathe for a nice lat stretch. I like the band and the towel because you can, like, as you try to pull it apart, you can kind of play around and feel the stretch a little deeper. And release that. Now we're going to do a dorsiflexion stretch. So I do want to bring your toe up on the board, heel down, and just press into the board slightly. You should feel that stretch. I know I'm over, but I just feel like the stretching is so important, and I don't ever want to, you know, cut you short of that. And then release and switch. I'm just kind of pulling myself slightly forward to get a deeper stretch there. And then release. We're going to do a shoulder stretch. So just pull it towards you until you feel a stretch a little bit more on your posterior deltoid, but just breathe into that. Release, release, let it go. And we're going to switch to the other side. Release, release. We have to do our triceps stretch, so bring that arm up, drop it down the middle of your back, take your other hand, press that elbow down, push your head into your arm until you feel a nice stretch in your triceps. Again, tucking that pelvis under. So on the inhale, again, you're visualizing that healing light coming up into those triceps. You're holding the breath for a couple of beats, and as you exhale slowly, you're just pressing down a little deeper if that feels okay. And then release, release. flutter those fingers. Get that blood circulating. And then we are going to switch to the other side. Arm up. Point it down the middle of your back. Press that elbow down. Push your head into your arm. Tuck that pelvis under. Bend those knees and breathe. A good rule of thumb, by the way, is to hold each stretch for 3 slow, cleansing, healing breaths, okay? And then release. Just flutter the fingers. One more. And we are going to go into our hamstring stretch. I know they're like, is this ever going to end? I'm sorry. Bring the heel up to that middle line. Push your hips back. Put your hand on your thigh. And just go to the point where you feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings. I love this board for these stretches because these poles are invaluable. Not only to give you the support you need, but to be able to even go a little deeper into your stretches with confidence. And then slowly bringing it back up. And we're going to switch. Push those hips back. That leg is straight, or as straight as you can get it, in order to really get that hamstring stretch, okay? But drop those shoulders. We're not hunching those shoulders or holding tension here. Just release those shoulders. And use the power of your breath to feel these stretches. And then slowly coming back up again. And just kick them out. And I'm going to come on over to you. Okay. How did you do? How do you feel? Hey, Betsy, you know, I can't give up. How can I give up? You know what I'm saying? Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Shelly is watching as well. I hope you're going to do the workout. I'm going to stretch out my hips as I like to do, as I see who's commenting. And of course, you know, I can only see what's showing on my screen. Hi, Judy. I'm glad you liked it. I just gotta do the extra stretching, you know? But if you can't get it in now, then please get it in later, okay? Judy, yeah, some great challenges. Yeah, for sure. That's why we have to listen to our own bodies, you know? I'm always challenging myself. Sit up nice and tall on this, and then if you can, hinge forward and just breathe into that outer thigh. It was a good, thorough class today. I really hit every muscle group for sure. It's kind of the key to having good balance, you know. In other words, you don't always want to just work your chest without working your back. You don't always want to work your biceps without working your triceps. Same with your quadriceps and your hamstrings. One of these days, I'm going to be brave, and I'm gonna attempt to show you the push-up and the plank on the board, but with full knowledge that that's an advanced move. Of course, it is for me as well, because I have a lot of limitation. And we're gonna release that. Oh boy, kick it out. Barney's passed out on the couch. Okay, here we go. Back straight. Just hold it here, or if you like to hinge forward slightly and breathe. Did anybody get vaccinated yet? I'm glad you liked it, Daresha. Yay. And release. Just put your fingertips on your shoulders and let's just circle them. I'm still feeling a little tight in my shoulders. This is another great drill, by the way, just to get the blood flowing into those tight shoulders, you know? And you can go the other direction. I can't wait till it gets a little warmer outside, because I'm going to take this class outside in my backyard. You know, try it out. I know Dan's done that a couple of times. It's too cold today, my goodness. Okay, well, that's it, you guys. That is it for today. Thank you for joining my class. I just wish you a great rest of your day, and more importantly, the rest of your week. You know, just be consistent, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will look forward to seeing you all on Friday. Bye, everybody.